We've got some exciting news for you. This van is so messy.
That is scary.
Nobody actually knows where Reuben's gone today.
Don't do that, you will definitely die.
I am mildly ginormously overweight because I've got absolutely mahoosive wrists. Reuben, do you want a Malteser? Yeah. Ready? Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Artisan Electrics, where we are out in Canary Wharf and we're going to be fitting another car charger. So we've got a Hypervolt and we've got some exciting news for you in today's episode. So wait and see what that is. But for the job, we're just going to be sticking a Hypervolt there. Consume unit is right around there, and we've got to cleat it along the front. I don't really like cleating cables surface like that where they're going to be visible. Ideally, I was trying to think of options, either going up into the loft maybe and dropping down, or lifting up some pavers or something, but it's one of those where you kind of go only as far as you're requested to go, and that does seem to be the most sensible route. So we're just going to do it as neat as possible, and we're going to use the Linean super clips, which are just a little bit neater than the cleat because there's no screw and you can get it tighter to the floor. So I'll show you those as well. Right, so Reuben's just going to set up, and then I'm just going to go set up. Oh, this van is so messy. Reuben, if you could just grab the other side of this. So I don't know if anyone follows my Instagram page, but I put on there the other day asking if anyone knew where I could get another one of these, because this and my 10mm socket was missing. I completely blame Reuben, obviously he's not here, so especially I blame him doubly. You know who you are if you're watching this. Someone sent me a whole new set, and then they've sent Reuben that and a 10mm socket, which I only realised I would have actually probably given this one to Reuben. I probably wouldn't have, but I say that because it's on camera. I absolutely love it, and it just fits in that little pocket perfectly, and that's got pretty much everything I need on it. You know who you are, and thank you so much. That is insanely kind of you. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. I don't think we really deserve that, but I appreciate it anyways. That template with the Marksman is a bit of a lethal combo. In fact, I think that Marksman's got to be tool of the day. It's just brilliant. So it just sprays a little X on whatever you're marking. So if you're marking up like a really deep hole or something where you can't quite, like I won't be able to fit a Sharpie through that gap there. See, it won't come out the other side. Whereas I can just do a little spray. That'll mark exactly where I need the hole to be. I don't know what happened to him. I sent him to get milk and he never came back. Finally had enough of the humour. Or maybe got fed up of being compared to me, realised it was unattainable, or he just wanted to be his own man. More likely the first one. I can never decide what to do in these scenarios, right? So the OCD part of my brain wants to run it straight down to the bottom, a nice 90-degree bend, round and through. And with bigger cables, that's impossible, and it's bad practice. You don't really ever want to have 90-degree bends in cables. Not many people know this, but that's actually considered safe isolation. If you kink the cable, that's going to block the electricity from coming through. It's not true, don't do that, you will definitely die. But what it will do is it will increase the resistance and it can potentially damage the cable. So I'm thinking, I need to get into the habit of not doing that and keeping everything swooping, although sometimes it's not as neat. When you have lots of cables swooping together, it looks neat. When you just have one on its own, it's like, why didn't he just bring it to the bottom? But in this scenario here, I can very easily bend this cable to 90 degrees because I've got absolutely mahoosive wrists and spent a lifetime in the gym. But Nick Monday, coming for you. I think despite my gigantic forearms, I still am going to just have this swoop round And, oh mate, these nettles are quite mean actually. I think I'm just gonna have it swoop round like that. Nice gentle sweep round that corner. Despite my OCD and what it is telling me, I think that will actually be the neatest way of doing it. Oh, my knees. People are saying to me quite often, how do you eat so much food and not be ginormously overweight? Well, I say to that, I am mildly ginormously overweight, but my secret is this, completely unsponsored, skinny syrups. I actually usually get the customer to make me a coffee with no sugar, and then I stick that in it, and it's amazing. It's like a little 0-calorie sweetener thing. And I've got Reuben onto it now as well. And I buy it from TK Maxx, of all places. It's £3.99 for a big bottle, and it just makes it taste like a proper barista coffee. Not to be mistaken with barrister coffee. That will see you in some dark alleys. Reuben, is he gonna drink his flipping coffee or what? Reuben, have some more clips. Nobody actually knows fully where Reuben's gone today. Some people say he went to a convention for the vertically challenged. Other people say that he'll never be seen again after rating me a 7.5 and Lee an 8 on the last video. I don't even know what he was rating, maybe in terms of speed or in terms of masculine brawn, but either way, might never see him again. Something I want to talk about. I was just chatting to our new cameraman Max. We sacked Nathan because he was absolutely useless. No, I'm joking, we didn't sack him. He's still our editor. He's just off travelling at the minute. He's in South America somewhere. Hi Nathan. Hola. So we've got Max doing the video work. But yeah, I was just chatting to Max. Said about, for some reason at the minute, maybe it's just getting to me more this month or something. I don't know. There just seems to be so much negativity in the comments and even on my Instagram. People direct messaging me and stuff. I know on a couple of videos back, I made a silly mistake, which I completely held my hands up to and have put right. I don't see why. I suppose you are putting yourself in the public eye, but when you're in, it's not like I'm a celebrity or a musician or something where I'm putting it out for any reason really other than pretty much this is just educational and hopefully slightly entertaining as well to a certain degree. I thought last night I was like, oh, I had a bit of free time. I find it impossible to keep up with my message requests on Instagram, so if you ever do DM me with questions and stuff after videos, I promise you I'm not ignoring you. But last night I thought, oh, I've got some time free, I'm going to go on, see if there's any apprentices or business owners or whatever with questions that I might be able to answer. There was the odd question which I went through, and so many of them are like, Cory, you eat far too much. Cory, what is it someone said? Basically just being mean. And you think, wow, like what the heck gives you the right? Just because I'm in mildly in a very small niche in some dark corner of the internet, which you probably found while you're scrolling through your phone on the toilet and wonder how it popped up out there in the public eye. What the heck gives people the thought that because someone's in the public eye in a small sense, they have the right to criticise and be mean? That's the thing. Criticism is fine, especially if it's constructive, but meanness is something completely different, and there's just no need for it. Why does anyone feel the need to not be kind? Like if you saw an electrician in the street and you walked up to him and just said, man, you eat far too much, or you've put on a bit of weight recently, or I didn't like this, or I didn't like that, you'd probably get knocked out. It's a keyboard warrior is what it is. It's an armchair hero. That's the only way I can think of it, because on a site or on a user, if If you walked up to a domestic electrician or an industrial electrician, whatever, in the street and said, you would not survive a day on the sites I work on, but all right, cheers, mate. You have a nice day as well. What the heck is constructive out of that? Anyway, that's my rant over. Back to being positive and getting some work done. So I've been given this. I need to slot out a tiny bit on the bottom of that gate just to clip the cable around neatly. I've been without multi-tool now for a few weeks because my one went missing. Then I ordered a new DeWalt one and it arrived from Amazon not working for some reason. So they've taken that back and we've got this instead. And apparently Fein are like, or Fein, I don't know how they say it, any Germans in the comments. They are the biz when it comes to multi-tools. They are the original oscillating tool manufacturer. Now I've never used one made by them before. I've used every other brand from Milwaukee, Makita and DeWalt, and I've always kind of stuck true that DeWalt makes the best one. Let's see what all the fuss is about, shall we? Oh, very nice box. Let's do a little unboxing. Come over here, Mr. Cameraman. So you get 2 3-amp hour batteries. Hey, I like it. A little Hoover attachment. We do like a Hoover attachment. Oh, so you turn it on. Just need a little wood blade. I think one of my favourite negative comments that I've had so far is someone went onto one of my pictures that I'd posted on Instagram and left a comment along the, if you search through my Instagram you'll probably find it, left a comment somewhere to the effect of, you stupid poser, Sparky, like you'd never survive a day on an actual site. I think, man, that's brilliant. What do they think I was doing all that time before? I was working on sites, and the best part of that is, as well, the sites I was working in Leeds. If you can survive working in Leeds, you could survive, I think, a tour in Afghanistan, mate. Like, that place is terrifying, and I survived there for a few months, and then I moved to Newcastle, and I actually got on well there. I liked people and I survived it there. So I think, again, I'm hardcore. Don't say I won't survive on a building site. I did like 6 years of building sites. Thank you very much. I only got my face punched in 6 times. Does it just click in? Whoa. That is scary. Wow, that's brilliant. It just pushes in. Okay, that's pretty cool. I was looking for like a catch or something to do them buttons. You literally just push it, and it pops on. Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, I like that. Now let's see how well it actually cuts. That is the ultimate test. Okay, I need to charge the batteries, but that so far, that is the bee's knees. That is very nice, I have to say. The hype is real. Again, this is another situation where the consumer unit has just been put in just a ridiculous place. Kitchen fitteritis. I don't know if I'll be able to... I'm hoping there's enough room there to take the lid off, but it's just not accessible. Like, how on earth am I going to get to the neutral bar? I'll have to take all of this out and lift... If that shelf will come out, that is. And to be honest, I don't know. I reckon I can lift it up, but I don't know if I can take it out. This is becoming a running theme on the channel and in my day-to-day life. The consumer unit's been put in absurd places. I'm not going to be able to get to them bars. I'll have to do half up here and half down there. Oh dear, look at that. I didn't mean to gasp so dramatically, but state that cable. This episode just got saucy, didn't it? The state of that. That cable is completely cooked. Ah, no, that one's not bit the conductor. See, I can kind of pull that out. Mate, check your connections, guys. It's an easy mistake to make. I know no one's perfect, but that literally could burn down a house, especially inside a wooden cupboard like this. It's serious stuff that we do. And you tend to think when it's domestic, especially coming from a background where I've worked on high voltage and stuff, you think, oh, how wrong can you go, 230 volts? At the end of the day, if you burn down a factory or something, kind of got a lot of fire safety procedures, as not people sleeping there overnight. You might have a toddler asleep upstairs when you've got that burning down. It's so serious. Low voltage does not mean low risk. You gotta just be careful, guys. I'm gonna put this right because I can't really leave the customer's house like this, although we're not being hired to do that. Do you know how I can tell it's not an electrician? Electricians never have good quality fixings like that. That's a carpenter or a kitchen fitter. And also notice there's no fixings at all in the top. So although it's actually pretty solid in all fairness, there really should be fixings at the top. And also, not to mention, there's no grommet strip whatsoever. Unpopular opinion, in fact extremely unpopular opinion. I think I've already had enough hate in the comments and I'm going to get more for this. If the edge of a metal is extremely smooth, I will always put grommet strip on because that's the done thing and I don't want someone else pulling it up. I can see the logic behind if a cable's not going to move and it's not under strain and you've filed that metal extremely smooth enough that you're happy to lick it, then I don't see there's a huge problem. But on a consumer unit like this, that's rough. And you can see where the cables are so squished up together, that is going to start biting into the insulation. So I definitely do take issue with that. In fact, I just take issue with the whole thing. There's half the back of the consumer unit's missing. I'm definitely going to recommend an EICR because it doesn't bode well. If the consumer unit's done like that, then it doesn't bode well for the rest of the electrics. Probably, I reckon this whole kitchen's probably being fitted by amateur Dave. Again, because of my stilt legs, I can spot more DIY Dave spots. Not to run the name Dave down, I know lots of nice Daves. DIY Toby, we'll call him DIY Toby. That name's not run down into the mud enough. I don't know any mean Tobys, so time to pick on a new name. But yeah, DIY Toby probably hasn't earthed that either, so that's probably almost guarantee you the rings are not done. So I'm definitely going to recommend an EICR and potentially a board change, because I mean that's just abhorrent how they've ragged the cables in through the back like that, how they've extended them. With so few circuits, you almost think, is it worth just whacking in a nice AFDD board even? I know Fusebox have just brought out an AFDD board, which I'm trying to push Jordan to try. That way as well, if there is any faults and things you don't find, at least they're just going to trip. Sorry, I take everything I said back. It doesn't need to be checked because we're good until 2021. So I take that back. That fire shouldn't catch fire until 2021 because it's been signed off. What I've done there, where they've missed the fixing hole, I have actually seen they've put fixings in just much lower down. I've widened out the hole with my cone cutter, just wide enough through the old fixing hole there to check there's nothing behind it. There's nothing behind it, so now I'm going to drill down and out with my my SDS bit. Now I can start pulling that cable through. Thank you. So I've just given the customer the jackery to plug his Wi-Fi into because I need to turn this off really to fix it. See the state of that, but that will be live right now because the other end is connected and it's a ring. I reckon if I pull that, that will just pop out. But again, I need to wait for the customer to sort his Wi-Fi. Once he sorts his Wi-Fi, I'm going to break the cables back at the original red cable, see how they've done the connection, and then extend it and just repair that for them while I'm in there. And I've got some of this lovely grommet strip here as well. I'm just going to put that around the hole where I've got that cable in, and I can get that sealed up as well. Right, let's take this bus bar out, see the extent of the damage properly. Aye. You can see the state of that. That's really got quite warm, hasn't it? A bit of a lucky find, to be honest. Affected as well the RCD. Yeah, there is signs of burning on the RCD, so I don't know how hot that's got and how that's affected the inside. I can just make out there it's got really hot and stuck to it, and then the top terminal there as well has obviously got quite warm. there's actually a 32 at the end here that's not being used. So for now, we'll leave that RCD in place. We'll do a trip test just to make sure it actually trips in the correct time and it's actually operating as an RCD for now. And then I'll flick that in place. So I've literally just pulled that and that's just popped straight out. I've barely crimped it. Like, you can barely see the marks. Like, that's not compressed at all. So either they've got a really, really cheap rubbish crimper, or they've got the hand strength of a flipping Spice Girl. At lunch, that was a bit much, a bit crap. Believe it or not, that wasn't actually very healthy. But I think it was as healthy as it looked. Little 2-second hack for you. These silica packets that you get inside, well, pretty much anything that you order nowadays, I always like to pop them just at the bottom of my tool bag, somewhere where they're not likely to get punctured and have the little beads everywhere. And it just helps keep the moisture out of your tool bag when I seal it shut inside a damp van overnight or whatever. It just helps to keep the moisture out slightly. Never did drink his coffee. It's his favourite cup as well. How bizarre. Such a waste of that kid. Right, so we are all finished. We've got the Hypervolt installed here. The customer wanted it out the way, nice and discreet, so I think that's about as discreet as you're gonna get, especially if he decides to grow that bush out some more. He's got an ID3, I think, on order, so that's a very nice electric car that will be plugged into it. And we just tried to cleat it as discreetly as possible. It's one of those, once the cable's installed, and because it's out of eye level, it does become invisible. So actually, I think it probably was quite a good shout on his part, getting that in, and we've just chipped ever so slightly, taken the sharp edge of the brick off on all the corners, just so it rolls round there a little bit smoother. I got that tip off someone on Instagram, I think it was like George Sparky or Mark Electrician, and that goes round into the consumer unit. As you've seen, that consumer unit, that was pretty rough, so that's pretty fortunate that we actually found that when we did. Let's put a bit of mortar in there, so I think it just makes a nicer effort. And on the other side, I've used that putty, you know, the black putty, and you can roll it up really thick like rubber. So when it's not really possible to get a grommet strip in very easily, what I'll do is, because the metal's cut wider than the brick behind it, there's no chance of that cable root moving and rubbing. If you just shove that rubber stuff in there, that holds it tight, acts like a grommet, and then you can put more over the top of it, smooth it round, and it's weather resistant then as well. So it's pretty fantastic. I've managed to repair that cable that was burnt out, so that's all sorted now. I hate to admit it, but I have got so used to having an apprentice now that even little things, like just then, I was labelling up, and I'm like, oh, like, I'm thinking, yep, job's done. The amount of times I said to the cameraman, yeah, job's done now, and I've walked off and I've got, oh, no, I haven't labelled. Oh, no, I haven't connected the CT. Oh, no, I haven't done this, that. Or seal up the holes, because they're just jobs that Reuben does now, so I don't think about, which is pretty shocking, but also pretty good that he's got to that level of indispensableness. Max has just noticed there is a cat that has just climbed into my engine bay. Oh, he's coming out now. Look, get down there. That is a good spot, because I would have started the engine and had a stowaway. That probably would have come home with me. Oi. Out. You don't want to come to Stevenage, man. Guys, I completely forgot to tell you the shocking announcement that I promised at the start of the video. It turns out Lee is a closet ginger. Never saw that one coming. Never saw that one coming. Actually, to be honest, I did see it coming. He does have lots of redhead tendencies. Oh, also, the other shocking announcement, I found Reuben. Turns out he was just at college, and that's because he's got a college placement now, the same college I went to. They saw how wonderful I was as a student, and they thought I'd give him a chance. So yeah, that's our exciting news. Reuben joins college. We're going to be doing lots of updates and things about that as he now starts to learn properly through his apprenticeship. I think it's the 2357 course that he's on, so the MVQ level 3. Anyway, that's all. Thanks.